Alright, I really want this inside this. And let me kind of elaborate on that a little bit so you kind of understand where I'm coming from and what I actually mean, or what is missing with this, the Xbox, and why I want it inside this. Not specifically this one, the Anbernic RG35XX Plus, but yeah, again, let me elaborate on that. So for those of you who maybe have been watching my previous videos, you know that I'm currently listening to the full cast audiobook of Harry Potter, and I'm overall a Harry Potter fan. I watched all of the movies, read all of the books in 2 different languages, listened to all of the audiobooks in multiple different versions, and obviously I am, or not obviously, I also played Hogwarts Legacy. And now that I'm totally back being invested or hyped about Harry Potter, listening to the full cast audiobook, last week the trailer of the Harry Potter series dropped, I thought, okay, let's play Hogwarts Legacy again. And previously I finished the game being in Hufflepuff, and now I really wanted to see, okay, can I be bad and play Slytherin? And yeah, I'm playing that. So my Xbox wasn't on for probably a year or something, but I put it in the mode, or not, I didn't put it in the mode, but you have 2 power modes. Nevertheless, you have the option to say something along the lines, okay, please keep my system and my games up to date. And I was always under the impression, okay, it's in low power mode, but the system was actually up to date when I started up the Xbox, but Hogwarts Legacy was not up to date. And I don't know why the system was updating itself, but not Hogwarts Legacy's. Anyways, so I wanted to start it up. Obviously, it took forever, in air quotes forever, for the Xbox to boot up. Then it had to download updates. And that whole process took 45 minutes. So I was not able to play on that day. And that was really annoying to me. And now, having played a couple of times, I noticed every time, although, so on Xbox you can switch to energy saving mode when you shut down, or to suspend mode. And on suspend mode it says, okay, you have a little bit more power drain, but your system will boot up faster and you have the ability to do instant play. So instant resume to wherever you are. And now maybe you kind of get where I'm going now. And well, everything was set up. Now that I played every night, or whenever in the morning, maybe I have a couple of minutes, I think, okay, let's play a couple of minutes. I switch it on with the assumption that suspend mode is working flawlessly. So I click it on. Suspend mode isn't as fast as I would like it to be. It still takes about 30 seconds to kind of boot up. And then I click on Hogwarts Legacy, thinking, okay, instant play, let's go. It has to start up the game again. It goes to the loading screen, and then you have to load your save game, and that takes, granted, it's not much, but I will get to that in a second. Overall, from pushing that button on the Xbox controller to actually being able to play, it takes, I would say, 2 minutes or something along those lines. And yes, it's not much, but, and this is where I'm kind of gotten used to with these Anbernic devices. This device, the Anbernic, is so good in just switching it on. Yes, it has boot up times as well, but you go right into your game to the place where you left off, which makes this device for me such an important tool as an adult with responsibilities. You know, I really like to utilize this as somewhat, maybe it's a little bit of a too much of a big deal as of a terminology, but as a mental health tool. So whenever I am busy at work, or I'm kind of overwhelmed with tasks during the day, I do like to kind of take this device, switch it on, play a game, and kind of reset my brain and get back after playing for 5 or 10 minutes. And this is really important. It's only 5 to 10 minutes to kind of reset my brain whilst not kind of neglecting my responsibilities. But it resets my brain and I can get refreshed, in air quotes, refreshed, but with a new perspective to whatever I have to do. Any problems, any work, any chores, any tasks, or maybe anything that is rummaging around my brain, which is why I call this like a mental health tool. And because I utilize only like 5 to 10 minutes, an Xbox with a loading time of 2 minutes just to get into the game digs into that and is a barrier of entry where I kind of say, oh, do I really want to switch on the Xbox? Because it suddenly becomes, yeah, it raises the barrier of entry. It's not as easy to just go into the game or quickly pick it up and play. And that's why I kind of want to have the Xbox inside the Anbernic. And more specifically, I want purely the feature of instant play, and more importantly, my TV. This is the living room. Maybe it's occupied because my wife is watching something, and it's not as easy to pick up the Xbox and just say, okay, I'm waiting for my coffee machine to kind of warm up and to start, and I want to start the day. It's not as easy to kind of switch on the Xbox. Obviously, all of these TVs, they have a startup time, a boot up time as well. So my TV maybe needs like 15 to 20 seconds. Again, it's not much, but it's all of these small things that you need to switch on your TVs, you need to switch on your Xbox, then it boots up, then you need to load into the game. All of that adds up and makes it not as kind of easy to fit gaming into your day-to-day life. Again, I am an adult with responsibilities, and I would argue many of you who watch these videos on my channel are in the same position. We have jobs, responsibilities. I have a dog. So you obviously, or not obviously, maybe you have kids. All of that combined makes it really difficult to play games, especially on consoles, which is why I love this device, the Anbernic RG35XX. A, it's small, B, it boots up quickly, and therefore it is very easy to carry this around and kind of squeeze in those 5 to 10 to 15 minutes of just playing a game with this instant mode. And now we get to the point where I'm kind of want to get to. So, as I said, I want the Xbox inside this. Doesn't work, right? It's not possible. This doesn't have the processing power, and probably playing Hogwarts Legacy on a small screen like this wouldn't work. Entering a handheld device like the Steam Deck, I really am currently thinking about getting a Steam Deck. Selling my Xbox, I also have a Nintendo Switch, the old one. I could play on the Switch, but I have to admit I don't really enjoy it as much as I would like. I do enjoy this game of Hogwarts Legacy. Yes, Hogwarts Legacy exists on the Switch, but as far as I know, it's not that great of an experience. So I am thinking of selling my Xbox and selling my Nintendo Switch and buying a Steam Deck, because the Steam Deck has instant play and is portable. Yes, it will be a little bit bigger. It's not as portable as the Anbernic, obviously, but it is much more likely that I can kind of fit it into my day-to-day life. So if the TV is occupied or my wife is sleeping, I can just switch on the Steam Deck, or at least that is what I'm kind of thinking in my brain. The Steam Deck, unfortunately, is sold out due to shortages in processors and RAM and stuff like that. I could, and I already anticipate that some of you will say, oh, you could buy something else like the Asus ROG Xbox Ally, that's this thing. So I was thinking about the same thing, because on the Xbox Ally, I could actually play Hogwarts Legacy because it has this so-called play anywhere compatibility. So I could transfer some of the Xbox games that I already purchased to that system. But that system is Windows 11. And as far as I was able to kind of gather from other reviews, you actually have this difficulty of, when you purchase the device, you need to update it. And if you are, like me, a casual gamer, is the mic on? Yeah. If you're a casual gamer, there is the thing that you need to update not only the Xbox system on that thing or the software, but also Windows 11, and you have to kind of tinker all over the system, which I would argue I'm very good at learning software, but I don't want to. I don't want to kind of get into Windows 11. If I get that system, I want it just plug and play. Again, it's for me all about the barrier of entry. I don't want to fuss too much with loading times, updates, different systems. So that's the first thing why on one hand, I am tempted to get the Xbox Ally from RG, because also the price is pretty good. But the more important thing is, so many people in their reviews were saying this system is more like a computer and not like a console, in a way that you need to tinker a little bit with Windows 11, but more importantly, the instant play, and I've seen that in multiple reviews, this instant play factor doesn't really work. Moreover, whenever the system, the ROG Ally, is in suspend mode, because Windows 11 is in the background, something is still happening in the background. It's not a full suspend, so the battery is more likely to deplete in suspended mode. And that, as far as I can tell from all of the reviews, is not an issue with the Steam Deck. So not having instant play on those Windows systems makes me really kind of take a step back from those systems. So as I said, I'm tempted to buy a Steam Deck, but it's not available. So yeah, what's the point of this video? Yeah, I just wanted to tell you that I love the Xbox, but I would love that this suspend feature, this instant play, would work better. And I am tempted to get one of these handheld devices, just because I would love to kind of play more games like Hogwarts Legacy. I've never finished Witcher 3, great game, or Diablo 4. I'm a huge Diablo fan. I played Diablo 3 multiple times, because I bought it 4 times on different systems and different iterations. And I have Diablo 4, but I've not been able to play it properly, just because, yeah, getting older, it's hard to squeeze in gaming time. And I just try to convince myself that having a Steam Deck would kind of allow me to play more, just because with instant play and the portability of this device. And I'm not saying I want to transport it for traveling, or it's going to be a device here at home, but it's going to be something that I can grab much more easily in between whatever I need to do. And with instant play, I can actually play games. And I'm actually craving to play more. Retro gaming got me back into gaming, especially this device. This, I still highly recommend these retro gaming devices, but I am tempted to play more of these bigger games. So there's no ending for this video, there's no point, but rather a question to you. Do you have the Steam Deck? Do you have any idea when the Steam Deck will be available again? I know no one knows exactly, because of the shortages, the chip shortages. No one can predict it, but maybe you have some idea. If you have a Steam Deck, please let me know how you like it. And more importantly, you know that I like to kind of, whenever I do review on my main channel, I like to nitpick. I like to present you all of the negatives so that you can kind of evaluate if those negatives, because I'm nitpicking, actually apply to you. Please let me know if you have a Steam Deck. Let me know the negatives. Let me know what you don't like. And even if you don't like it, why you would still kind of consider a Steam Deck. Or even if you say, I don't have a Steam Deck, I have the RG Ally. Let me also know if maybe, I know that there have been a couple of updates. Maybe Instant Play has improved quite a bit. Maybe I'm not up to date and I only watched. So the reviews that I watched, the youngest was 1 month old and most of them were a little bit older. So maybe there are some updates that I have been missing in those reviews and it has gotten better. Maybe I should just get the Ally because that one is available. Let me know, what are your thoughts about this? And again, I've seen so many videos about Steam Deck that from people in my age with responsibilities that the Steam Deck helped them to get back into gaming because the ease of use. Let me know in the comment section below what are your thoughts about this, because yeah, again, I'm tempted. All right, maybe check out my video from yesterday or the previous video where I talked about the Helio band. Watch it up here. YouTube thinks that you like the video down here. And don't forget to subscribe by clicking the button up here. That way we see each other in the next video. Thank you very much.